prompt her up. Good morning and thank you for joining us for RMU Live. Today is Monday, April 1st, 2019. Happy April Fool's Day. I'm Gage Golding.
And I'm Adeline Burdine. Here's what's happening now. Former Vice President Joe Biden came under scrutiny last week after allegations surfaced from a Nevada politician.
RMU Century Media's John Blinn is live in the studio with the latest updates and what Biden had to say over the weekend. John?
Thanks, Gage. A former Nevada politician claims Joe Biden kissed the back of her head in 2014 and made it feel her, quote, uneasy, gross, and confused. Former State Assemblywoman Lucy Flores wrote about the allegations in an essay in The Cut, a New York Magazine publication. She said it happened at a campaign event when she was Democratic nominee for a lieutenant governor. The piece includes a photo of Biden and Flores before the alleged encounter. She also wrote she was embarrassed, shocked, and confused. A Biden spokesperson issued a response reading in part, neither then nor in the years since did he or the staff with him at the time have an inkling that Ms. Flores had been at any time uncomfortable, nor do they recall what she describes. On Sunday, Biden released another statement stating, quote, in my many years on the campaign trail and in public life, I have offered countless handshakes, hugs, expressions of affection, support, and comfort. And not once, never, did I believe I acted inappropriately. If it is suggested that I did so, I will listen respectfully, but it was never my intention, end quote. Here's what Flores had to say Sunday.
I'm glad that he is clarifying his intentions. Frankly, my point was never about his intentions, and they shouldn't be about his intentions. It should be about the women on the receiving end of that behavior. And this isn't the first time, and it wasn't the only incident where he was acting inappropriately with women.
Biden was expected to make an announcement about his candidacy in the 2020 presidential election sometime in April. Since the surfacing of the allegations, Biden has not commented on his plans on the campaign. Thank you. That's all from me. Back to Gage and Addie.
A scary evening Sunday night in Hartford, Connecticut. Police say a University of Hartford student stabbed two other students in a campus apartment Sunday. The campus was put in lockdown mode, but that has since been lifted. They say they found the suspect in the woods trying to leave the scene and took him into police custody. Authorities gave more details to the media at a news conference.
It was discovered there was two individuals, both males, that suffered several injuries. One of the victims, a 21-year-old male, suffered one puncture wound to the chest and 4 to the back. A second victim, 19-year-old male, suffered from a single puncture wound to the chest as well as a puncture wound to the back. Almost immediately, a 21-year-old suspect was identified. He is a student at the university, as well as the two victims. He is a commuter, and he is not a resident. This attack occurred inside one of the campus apartments at 200 Bloomfield Avenue. At this time, the 21-year-old suspect has been taken into custody. They're all students on the campus. They were in one dorm room when this occurred.
One victim was in stable condition and the other was in critical condition the last time we checked. Police say they believe the 3 students were working on a class project together. Police say it's likely the suspect will be charged sometime today.
Sad news today for a Kentucky town. 3 kids have gone missing from London, Kentucky, all within a 3-mile radius of each other. The first missing child is a 15-year-old Mark Fields who went missing Friday evening. The second missing child is 17-year-old Dalton Robinson, who was last seen early Sunday morning. The third child missing is 12-year-old Lindsay Couch, who was also seen last early Sunday morning. Authorities believe that there's a possibility Robinson and Couch may have ran away together. Anyone with information is asked to call the Lorry County Sheriff Department. A shooting in the Arlington neighborhood of Pittsburgh has resulted in 1 dead. The victim, 41-year-old Andre Jordan, was found suffering from multiple gunshot wounds at approximately 2:45 a.m. Saturday morning. The victim, 41-year-old, the incident occurred in a building located on the 3000 block of Cordell Place. Police have yet to catch the suspect.
A house fire in Plum Borough resulted in 1 person being injured. The blaze occurred on Pikeview Drive, and authorities were called to the scene around 12:30 p.m. Officials say that hoarding made it difficult to fight the fire. A man was taken to the hospital with burns on his hands and arms. Another fire on Sunday in Cheswick. Multiple explosions were heard late last night as a fire burned in Cheswick. The fire was reported around 11 p.m. and forced the evacuation of nearby homes on South Highland Avenue. Reports of flames and smoke shooting 60 to 80 feet in the air were reported. However, only 2 neighboring sheds caught ablaze. The explosions are believed to be caused by propane tanks and gas cans. No one was harmed in the fire. And another fire, this one in Beaver County, has resulted in the destruction of at least 3 vehicles at Sam's Auto Garage. The fire occurred Saturday evening, and the Pulaski Township Fire Chief said there were 2 explosions, one of which was a gas tank. However, the fire has not dampened the owner's beliefs. Sam Bochovich said he'll try to rebuild his store that has stood for more than 30 years. A GoFundMe page has been set up in support of Sam and his wife Jody.
Early Monday morning, a van crashed into a local business in Etna. The accident was reported at 4 a.m. when the vehicle crashed into Jolo Lock and Supply on Butler Street. Officials say the vehicle took significant damage to the front end and that the crash shifted the brick construction, preventing the business to open. The woman driving the van was sent to the hospital with bumps and bruises.
One person was killed after a motorcycle accident late Saturday evening. 61-year-old Douglas G. Varnish of Irwin died after a motorcycle he was riding and another vehicle collided near the Elizabeth Forward High School in Elizabeth Township. Allegheny County Police say they are still investigating the incident.
After it was announced in the Mueller report that President Donald Trump's campaign did not collude with Russia, people still want the papers to be released to see whether or not he obstructed justice. The Justice Department plans to release a redacted version of Special Counsel Robert Mueller's report to Congress and the public by mid-April or sooner. That's according to Attorney General Bill Barr. It comes after Barr released a summary of Mueller's report on the Russia investigation Sunday. In a letter to the House and Senate Judiciary Committees, Barr says his department is well along in removing information that would be a security risk. Barr says the report is nearly 400 pages long, and he's offering to testify shortly after it's released. In his summary, Barr said the Russia investigation did not establish the Trump campaign conspired with the Russian government ahead of the election. But he said Mueller's report did not exonerate Trump on whether he obstructed justice.
Yesterday, Anchorage, Alaska was warmer than it was in Pittsburgh. That's right, you heard me correctly. The Alaskan city temperatures reached a high of 47 degrees. However, in the Steel City, mercury struggled to reach 35 degrees on the thermometer. This marks the 19th straight day the temperatures in Anchorage were over 40 degrees.
And for some weather here in Pittsburgh, Sonu Babu is in the Weather Center right now tracking the latest weather.
And Sonu, please tell me that this April weather will be warmer and more spring-like. What do you have for us, Sonu?
Well, right now we're looking at a live view of downtown Pittsburgh, and as you can see, it's very sunny and very bright outside. And when I woke up this morning, it was also very sunny, but don't be fooled. It's actually almost freezing temperatures right now, and we are looking at about 35 degrees. But compared to yesterday's snow, this is a little better. We are going to look at a high of 45 degrees and a low of 28 degrees, as you can see here, with a humidity of 36%. And if we look at the hourly weather, it is going to get a little bit warmer throughout the day until 9 p.m., but it is steadily going to stay sunny. So at 3 p.m., it's going to be 41 degrees. At 6 p.m., it's going to be 44 degrees, and it's going to go down at 9 p.m. to 38 degrees. So that's all I have for weather right now, but stay tuned for a full weather forecast coming up later. Let's go back to Adlin and Gage on the desk.
Stay tuned to RMU Live because coming up next,
John Blinn is in the Sports Center. He has the latest on Pittsburgh sports and live feedback from downtown where the Pittsburgh Pirates are playing their first home game of the season. We'll be right back.
Hey, Dad, I need your help asking Jessica to prom.
Of course. Love is like the ocean. You have to tread the
Oh,
waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Hey, Jessica. Will you go to prom with me?
yes.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. This guy, no, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie. Nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's put a ride home.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
The Pittsburgh Pirates have announced travel plans for fans on opening day. PennDOT projects, including the 9th Street Bridge closure, the North Avenue Bridge closure, the West Ohio Street Bridge closure, and the General Robinson land reduction to Route 28 will make it difficult to travel to PNC Park. The Roberto Clemente Bridge will also close at 9 a.m. for pedestrian crossing. Now, for more on Pittsburgh sports, we send it over to John Blinn in our Sports Center. John, what do you have?
Opening day brought a loss for the Pittsburgh Pirates against the Cincinnati Reds last Thursday. The Bucks fell with a score of 5-3. Derek Dietrich launched the go-ahead home run to win the game for the Reds. After Game 2 of the series was postponed due to rain, the Pirates played again yesterday and shut out the Reds 5-0. Starter Trevor Williams only allowed 3 hits through 6 innings pitched. The Pirates are currently playing right now in their home opener at PNC Park against the St. Louis Cardinals, and the score is 0-0 at the top of the first. The Pittsburgh Penguins, in their quest for the Stanley Cup playoffs, defeated the Carolina Hurricanes 3-1 yesterday. Garrett Wilson, Matt Cullen, and Patrick Hornquist scored the Pens 3 goals. The win helped the Pens inch closer to clinching a spot in the playoffs. The Pens only need 2 more points to reach that goal, and they may be able to accomplish that when they travel to Detroit to play against the Red Wings. Puck drop is tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Moving over to college sports, the NCAA March Madness Final Four has been determined. The first game is Auburn versus Virginia. That game is scheduled for April 6th and will begin at 5:10 p.m. Texas Tech plays against Michigan State immediately afterwards at 7:49 p.m. Both games are in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and the winners of both games will move on to the final round. That's all for right now. We will be back later with your Colonial Sports. Now we're going to head back to the desk.
Coming up after the break, Donald Trump has announced his plans to close the border.
And McDonald's has announced a brand new menu item. Stick around here on RMU Live.
Hey, Dad. I need your help asking Jessica to prom.
Of course. Love is like the ocean. You have to tread the
Oh,
waters.
Dad. That's not the kind of help I needed. Hey, Jessica. Will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. This guy, no, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie. Nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's put a ride home.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
these stars visit their friends?
Look!
A body has been found in the Allegheny River. The body was found near the Fox Chapel Yacht Club. Police responded to the club around 11:30 a.m. on Saturday. Police are still investigating the incident.
A rally was held outside a Regal Cinemas Theater in Washington Crown Center in North Franklin Township. On Saturday, more than a dozen people were protesting the lack of charges filed after a male teenager was shot during a fight last Saturday. The organizers of the rally say they will go to district attorney's office Monday to pressure charges to be filed. President Trump is focusing on immigration this weekend. The State Department says he directed it to cut off aid to 3 Central American countries. The move comes one day after he renewed his threat to close the United States-Mexico border next week. Natasha Chen is at the United States-Mexico border with a closer look. Natasha?
Cutting off aid and issuing a new threat. President Trump has instructed the U.S. State Department to cut off foreign aid to 3 Central American countries, El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras.
We have right now 2 big caravans coming up from Guatemala. Massive caravans walking right through Mexico.
Saturday's move comes one day after President Trump said the 3 countries had set up migrant caravans to enter the U.S. He is also demanding action from Mexico, saying he'll close the U.S.-Mexico border next week if Mexico doesn't do anything to stop immigrants from coming into the United States illegally.
Mexico's tough. They can stop them. And if they don't stop them, we're closing the border. They'll close it. And we'll keep it closed for a long time. I'm not playing games.
The president insists the U.S. has run out of detention space for undocumented immigrants. His comments come at a time when Homeland Security and border officials have said their resources have been stretched thin. But this latest move aimed to stop illegal immigration may backfire. According to the U.S. Global Leadership Coalition, foreign aid programs in the 3 countries that are set to lose aid were working to promote opportunity and security for their citizens. In McAllen, Texas, I'm Natasha Chen reporting.
Walmart has purchased a liquor license for a store in Redstone Township. According to documents from the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board, Walmart paid $65,000 for the license. This will be Walmart's first liquor license in Pennsylvania. Sheetz also purchased liquor licenses for 4 stores in Altoona, Houston Township, Henderson Township, and Rouseville. Sheetz paid $318,000 in total for the licenses. Measles cases are now at the 2nd highest since the disease was presumed eliminated in 2000. From January 1st to March 28th, 387 cases of measles have been confirmed in 15 states. This number is only behind 2014 when 667 cases were confirmed. Symptoms of measles include a high fever, rash all over the body, stuffy nose, and reddened eyes.
Drinks like soda, energy drinks, and sports drinks have been the target of parents and health officials for years.
But now there's new light behind the push to limit the amounts of sugary drinks that children get their hands on. John Blinn is live in the studio with more. John?
Groups have long taken a stand against high consumptions of sugary drinks in the United States, and now they are calling for several policies to limit access to sugar-sweetened beverages among children and teens.
Parents aren't the only ones concerned about how much sugar their kids are consuming. The American Academy of Pediatrics and the American Heart Association have teamed up, targeting the makers of sugary beverages. The 2 physician groups released policy recommendations for lawmakers across the country to encourage them to help reduce the amount of sugary drinks children consume. The recommendations include adding a tax on those beverages. According to the lead author, taxing these products would have the greatest impact. Other recommendations include a federal nutrition assistance program to ensure access to healthy foods and discourage sugar-sweetened drinks. Regulations that require added sugar contents be listed on product labels, advertisements, and restaurant menus. An increase in childhood obesity and type 2 diabetes were among the reasons behind the changes. The American Beverage Association responded to the policy suggestions, saying parents are the only ones who should be in charge of their child's nutrition. They also argue beverages are not the sole reason behind the country's obesity epidemic.
Experts describe these types of drinks as a glass of water with 7 to 10 scoops of sugar dumped into it. Now, let's head back to the desk.
This puts a whole new meaning to baby boom. Last week, Maine Medical Center posted this picture to Facebook showing 9 nurses working at the hospital that are all pregnant at the same time. The hospital said in the social media post that went viral that 12 of their staff members are expecting children between April and July. 2 nurses were not present in this picture, and one of the nurses is the male. In total, 11 due dates are expected this year.
Fast food chain McDonald's has announced an all-new menu item just in time for the 1st of April. It's called the McPickle. The new item is a Big Mac featuring no meat, only pickles. McDonald's said that the McPickle was available until yesterday.
Coming up next, John Blinn is ready to recap all of Robert Morris sports.
And Sonu Babu is in the Weather Center getting ready to break down that upcoming forecast, and I hear it has 60 degrees in it as well. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I was physically at school, but my mind wasn't at school. I had problems at home. That's when I met Narnese. She started helping me a little bit, like, Nia, I don't know what you're doing, but your future is more important. She's my strength. It takes a village to help somebody get their diploma. It changes your whole life.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be blood. Next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day.
I have no time for this.
So,
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
What to expect when you're expecting
Like here.
a teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to teen-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys. Preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
I'm ready for the... Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Home fire drills give your family a plan of action. In a home fire, you may have less than 2 minutes to get out. So when you drill, show everyone 2 ways out of the house, pick a safe meeting spot, and get there in under 2 minutes. Then practice home fire drills at least twice a year. You can even make them fun. So everyone knows the sound and exactly what to do when they hear a smoke alarm. Go to ready.gov/fire drill and learn how to prepare your family for home fires.
All right, so now we're here with a live look at the RMU campus, and it's still very sunny outside, and we're going to reach a high of 45 degrees today and a low of 28. If we look back again at our hourly forecast, we're going to see it getting warmer progressively throughout the day. At 3 p.m. it's going to be about 41 degrees. At 6 p.m. it's going to be about 44 degrees. And at 9 p.m. it's going to go down to the 30s. And tomorrow's forecast, it looks a little bit more warmer at 55 degree high and a 35 degree low with a 40% chance of humidity. So it is getting warmer progressively. For our 5-day weather forecast, we're not going to see as much sun. It's going to be partly cloudy and rainy, but it is going to get warmer. On Wednesday, we have a high of 59 degrees. On Thursday, it's going to be a high of 51. On Friday, a high of 57. And on Saturday and Sunday, we're going to see weather in the 60s and 70s, which is very exciting. Finally, we're looking at some springtime weather. On Sunday, it's going to be partly cloudy with a high of 72 degrees and a low of 56 degrees. And thank you for listening. That's all I have for the full weather forecast for today. Now let's go over to John Blinn on sports.
Thank you, Sonu. The Robert Morris men's lacrosse rebounded from a 5-game losing streak to defeat the St. Joseph University's Hawks 15-9 on Saturday in Northeast Conference play. Ryan Smith and Corson Keeley continue to shine for the Colonials as they each scored 4 goals for Robert Morris in the win. The Colonials return home this Saturday, April 6th, to host the Wagner College at Joe Walton Stadium at 1 p.m. RMU's women's lacrosse team added to their current win streak, extending it 4 games after they defeated the Drexel University Dragons 13-10 on Saturday. Mackenzie Gandy continues to anchor the Colonials' offense as she scored 3 goals for RMU in the win. Robert Morris travels to Staten Island, New York to play against the Wagner College Seahawks in Northeast Conference play on Friday, April 5th at 3 p.m. The RMU softball team played a pair of doubleheaders over the weekend. RMU played Central Connecticut State on Saturday. RMU swept the Blue Devils, winning the first game 5-2 and shutting out the second game 2-0. Dana Vaticus and Laura Coulter took the wins against CCSU. As for the doubleheader against Bryant, RMU got swept themselves as they lost the first game 7-4 and the second game 6-1. RMU got outscored 13-5 in the Bryant doubleheader loss. Robert Morris travels to play against the St. Bonaventure Bonnies on Wednesday, April 3rd at 3 p.m.
And check this out, a New Hampshire man has used hundreds of old Dunkin' Donut cups to make a surfboard. That's right, take a look at your screen now. This is 32-year-old Corey Nolan of Hampton Falls, and he recently placed second in an innovation contest. Nolan said he spent more than 7 months collecting over 700 cups to create the surfboard. He says, although he isn't the best surfer, the board still fares well in the water. That is probably one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Puts a whole new aspect to surfing, and one of those things that Sonu, thank you so much. I know she's over there getting wrapped up in the weather center. 72 degrees on Sunday.
Can't wait.
I can't wait.
We needed that.
We need it more than ever after this snow. That's all we have for us today. Of course, join us again on Friday for RMU Live at noon. Have a great week.
I wasn't at school. I had problems at home. That's when I met Narnese. She started helping me a little bit, like, Nia, I don't know what you're doing, but your future is more important. She's my strength. It takes a village to help somebody get their diploma. It changes your whole life.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be blood. Next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day.
I have no time for this. So, I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
What to expect when you're expecting
Like here.
a teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to team-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys. Preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
I'm ready for the... Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Home fire drills give your family a plan of action. In a home fire, you may have less than 2 minutes to get out. So when you drill, show everyone 2 ways out of the house, pick a safe meeting spot, and get there in under 2 minutes. Then practice home fire drills at least twice a year. You can even make them fun. So everyone knows the sound and exactly what to do when they hear a smoke alarm. Go to ready.gov/fire drill and learn how to prepare your family for home fires.